Welcome into Tech Time. Bitcoin is becoming more popular as a form of currency. We first showed it to you last week. Technology consultant Francie Black is here to show us more about how it works. We talked about how this is a very complicated topic.
It's a big, complicated topic, for sure.
We know how it works because of the servers.
Right. So last week we talked about what is Bitcoin and why use Bitcoin. And so this time we're going to talk about how it's created and how do you get Bitcoin.
That's what we need to know, how to get it and use it.
That's right. All right. So first of all, if you missed last week, shoot me an email at info@ipadwisdom.com and I can send that information out to you. And so you'll get last week's and this week's. Okay. So, all right. So last week we talked about these Bitcoin servers, the Bitcoin miners, if you remember. That's what they're called. These are computers that sit all around the world and they're recording transactions. And we showed you these transactions that are going by. Okay.
And that's happening live right now. Those are actually happening.
Yep, exactly. And they're happening right now as we speak. So what these computers do, these miners as they're called, these Bitcoin miners, is they're recording these transactions. Now, they play a huge role in actually creating Bitcoin. So what happens is these miners, again, are all over the world, but think of instead of digging for gold, okay, they're digging for Bitcoin. And the way that works is these miners, when these transactions are going by, they're actually grouped, okay, into a group of transactions called a block, okay? That's the term they call it, is a block. And these miners all around the world validate these transactions to make sure they're accurate, that they're legitimate, there's not a problem with it, and basically are kind of checking the accounting, but it's super complex, okay? It is a big, long mathematical problem that typically not one miner is solving. It's usually a group of miners that are solving this block and validating it to make sure that it is accurate and proper, I guess, really. Okay, and so when a block is solved, as they call it, it's considered it solved, and as a reward for solving it, new Bitcoin are created, okay? So it's sort of the payment for doing the work on the Bitcoin. So whoever owns that Bitcoin miner, which could be you, it could be me, it could be anywhere in the world, they get some Bitcoin for being part of the work project to solve it, okay? So that's how Bitcoins are created, through these miners. So if you own miners, you generate Bitcoin, all right? Okay,
now remember what Bitcoin is, it's a universal currency.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the exact same for people here, people in Russia, people in China. We all pay the same thing. There's no fees and anything else on it, and nobody owns it like nobody owns the internet.
That's correct, yes, and those are some of the topics we talked about last week. We dug into it, yeah. So it actually shows you, in fact, on that website that we were just on showing you those transactions, it actually shows you the blocks. They're solved about every 10 minutes, and it shows you how many transactions were in that block, and that's when new Bitcoins are created. Now, the value of a Bitcoin, okay, so you can do a web search. I just did this on Google, Bitcoin exchange rate or Bitcoin rate. So one Bitcoin, you can look it up at any time. Right now, it's about $2,300, okay? That's the value of one Bitcoin. And you can see this is a year's graph. As right now, it's 2,300 or 2,367. This is as of this morning. But last year at this exact same time, it was around $550 or $600. So the price or value of Bitcoin has changed, okay, pretty drastically.
Yeah, certainly.
So if you're mining Bitcoin and you're getting Bitcoin, it's worth quite a bit of money, okay? So how does Bitcoin get out there? So somebody who mines Bitcoins, has Bitcoin now, they can buy product from you or somebody else who accepts it for payment, okay? When you do that, you have a Bitcoin wallet that tracks your own personal transactions. So Bitcoin wallet is the same as an app that's basically like your bank account, okay? And then lastly, you can do it also through, there's now ATMs.
That are Bitcoin, okay.
That are Bitcoin. So just like other ATMs, you can actually go to Bitcoin ATM machines, get Bitcoin. And then there's lastly is apps where you can actually buy it through Bitcoin exchanges. Okay. It's a lot of information. It's all on my website at ipadwisdom.com. Shoot me an email and we'll get that out to you.
And you can also find out more about this digital trend during the Tech Time segment on WLOS.com.